welcome back to the homestead. So a couple of weeks ago I told y'all that the fall and winter was my time to bring up my crock pot, and I was not lying. This week I'm going to share 2 more crock pot recipes with you. They seem very easy, really delicious, and the first recipe we're going to make is Swedish meatballs. So y'all, this recipe really is a true dump and go. So I have a 32-ounce bag of just frozen meatballs. We're going to pour that straight into the bottom. And then on top of that, I'm going to add in 1 package of just brown gravy mix. Just use whatever brand is your favorite. I always typically go with Great Value just because it is a little bit cheaper. We need 1 can of cream of mushroom. And don't worry, we're going to stir this all up here in just a minute. We need 3 cups of chicken broth. All of these flavors already smell so good, and it hasn't even started cooking yet. Alright, it said we needed about a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball that a little bit. For seasonings, it said garlic powder. I have garlic salt because the last time I looked for garlic powder at the store, they were out of it. And I know a lot of the things we're putting in here are already kind of salty, so I'm just going to do a light sprinkle of that. We need some onion powder. I love onion powder, so I'm not going to skimp on that one. And then it also called for some dried parsley. So we'll add that in there. And y'all, that is it. I'm just going to kind of give this a stir. Now, this cream of mushroom soup, it's going to look not dissolved. And that's just because everything's not warmed up yet. But once we let this sit here and cook, that cream of mushroom will get nice and creamy. We're just going to pop our lid right there on top. And then for mine, I'm going to go ahead and cook it on high for 3 hours. If you have more than 3 hours, I'm already starting this kind of later in the afternoon, and we're wanting to have this ready for supper about 6. But if you have more time in the day, you can just cook it on low for about 5 hours. I just got off work, so I want to go ahead and get some rice going in my Instant Pot, so that way by the time our meatballs are done, hopefully our rice will be done too. When you make this recipe, you can serve yours over rice or egg noodles. We've done the egg noodles before, and of course they're amazing, but we just have rice on hand, so that's what I'm going to use. Alright, so since we have the rice in the Instant Pot, I'm going to go ahead and show y'all a surprise. We have a new member of the family. Say hello. This is Maggie. She was trying to take a nap, so she's tired. But we love her. She is so sweet. She's an English Mastiff, just like Moses, and she's only 6 weeks old, so she's teeny tiny. I mean, compared to other puppies, she might not be teeny tiny at 6 weeks old. She's about 13.5 pounds already, so she's going to be a big girl. But her and Moses are sweet friends already, and we absolutely love her. Well, y'all, we have another winner recipe right here. This is so good. It has a ton of flavor. Plus, it was so easy to just throw together. It was done in 3 hours. Perfect crock pot recipe. Okay, y'all, so let's get ready for recipe number 2. This one sounds so cozy. We are making a chicken pot pie soup in our crock pot. I mean, it just sounds like the perfect comfort meal for the fall and the winter. So I am really excited to get this one started. As you saw, I went ahead and added some frozen chicken breast just here to the bottom of my crock pot. And if you are a returning subscriber, you know that typically I don't cook chicken in the crock pot. But we're going to try it again and see how we like it. I'm probably not going to shred it like it says in the recipe. I'll probably just, once they're cooked, I'll take them out and just kind of cube them up a little bit, because I think it's the shredded texture that me and my husband aren't a fan of. But to our frozen chicken in the bottom, I'm going to take some chicken broth, pour that in over the chicken. And I know typically with a a chicken pot pie, you'll use a cream of chicken, but I typically always have a cream of mushroom in my pantry, and I love the flavor that the mushroom brings to these type of dishes. So I'm actually going to be using 2 cans of cream of mushroom in this recipe. If you are not a fan of mushroom, just go ahead and use the cream of chicken. You can't go wrong either way, in my opinion, but everyone has their own opinion. But typically, if you want it to be more traditional, you would just use cream of chicken. I'm going to use 2 cans of the mixed vegetable medley. It looks like it has some corn, peas, green beans, and potatoes. This specific recipe did call for potatoes, and so I did want to go ahead and use the vegetable medley, because I think if you get just the can of mixed vegetables, it actually doesn't have the little potatoes in there. For seasoning, we're going to use some onion powder. And this one, I'm just measuring with my eyes. Some garlic salt. Going to use some black pepper. Now, if you were just using regular old garlic powder, you can go ahead and add some salt to this as well. But I'm going to skip that since there's already salt in that. And then we have some ground thyme. All right, and that is it for now. I'm just going to kind of give this a little stir, try to get some of that cream of mushroom broken up a little bit. And then we're going to put our lid on, and I'm cooking mine on high, and it says for about 4 to 6 hours. So once we hit that 4-hour mark, I will come and check the chicken and see how close we are to it actually being done. So we're getting pretty close to the soup being done. I just checked one of the pieces of chicken and it is pretty much just ready to go. But to go along with this soup, we're actually going to just bake up some biscuits, and that'll kind of work as like our crust of our chicken pot pie. With our biscuits in the oven, I want to go ahead and get this chicken out and get it cut up. So I'm just going to use a fork and just, whoo, they're already falling apart. That's a good sign. So I'm just going to get all our chicken out And I'm just going to try and cut it up as much as I can. I know that with leaving it in the crock pot, it does just like to shred on itself. But we're going to try our best to leave it in little bite-sized pieces. And then once I get all this chicken out, we do have one more ingredient we need to add to our soup. It's actually sour cream, which I have back here. Not sure if y'all can see that or not. But I'm going to add in some of that, and that's just going to help give it a creaminess. And man, it's going to be so delicious. I'm so excited to cozy up in my chair with my blanket and eat this delicious soup. Ooh, it's going to be so good. I want to add in our sour cream to our soup before I add in the chicken, mainly because I just want it to be easier to kind of mix this all together. Y'all, if you love a good hearty chicken pot pie, I'm telling you, you will love this recipe. It is really good on the flavors. Of course, you know, I had cream of mushroom, so yours might taste a little bit different if you use that cream of chicken, but altogether it is really, really good. The absolute perfect comfort food soup for the fall and the winter. Thank y'all so much for hanging out with me this week. I had a lot of fun getting together and making these crock pot recipes with you. I absolutely love using my crock pot. It just makes things so convenient, especially when you have busy afternoons. You can just throw these things on in the morning, let it cook all day, and then you're just ready to eat when you get home. So y'all make sure to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you try one of these recipes. You can tag me over on Instagram so I can see it. And I will see y'all next weekend. Bye.